Hey, what's up? Thanks for checking out this video. So today I'm going to talk about hair health, and I'm just going to share the tips that I do to keep my hair looking beautiful and healthy. I've been natural for about 8 or 9 years at this point. Yeah. So this is the longest that my hair has ever been, and I'm going to show you how I was able to get my hair to the length that you see here. So let's go ahead and jump into this video. Growing up, I never heard family or friends say that Black women can't grow long hair. So as I got older, I heard people actually say this, and they were convinced and they believe that, you know, Black women can't grow long hair, or some people assume that when they see us with long hair, it's not our hair, it has to be extensions. Now, if you have some kind of a medical condition that prevents hair growth, then yeah, I get it. Like, some medical conditions can cause your hair to be thin. Some medical conditions can slow down the growth of your hair. And of course, if you have dead hair follicles, then you're not going to grow any hair. But if you're not suffering from one of these conditions, please do not believe that just because of your race, you cannot grow long, healthy hair, because that is totally incorrect, okay? So if you have that in your mind, just scratch it, okay? So at night, I always make sure that I use some kind of a scarf to tie up my hair, and sometimes I'll use a bonnet. Very rarely will I go to sleep without anything on my head at all. The satin pillowcases, they don't work for me because I can't sleep like this. You know, it's like I cannot get a good night's rest without having to worry about my hair being jacked up in the morning. So I always make sure that I use some kind of a scarf. I don't use cotton scarves. I try to make sure that it's like something that feels silky. Like, it might be like polyester, some satin, just something that doesn't strip all of the moisture out of your hair. Whenever I need to comb my hair, I never use a comb like this or a comb like this. The only time that I use a comb like this is if I need to flat iron my hair. Other than that, as far as with normal routine, I never ever use these combs besides the flat iron process. Typically, if I have to use a comb, I'm using something like this with wide teeth, because with these smaller teeth, they can easily snap your hair, whether you have a relaxer or whether your hair is natural. So I always avoid using something like this, and I typically use something like this if I have to comb my hair. Now, normally when I have my hair curled like this, or if it's in like a twist out or something like that, I don't even use a comb like this. I always use like my fingers as a comb to go ahead and like style and puff up my hair to give it volume, just do whatever I need to do. So typically my fingers are like this. This is my comb, my fingers. If you have to comb your hair, make sure that you actually grab a section of the hair that it is that you want to comb, and make sure that you start at the ends of your hair and work your way up to the roots. Don't just comb your hair like this, like in that motion. If your hair is tangled, then what you want to do is grab it, and then you want to gently comb it and detangle it as you go. Don't just go ripping it down because it's tangled. Just gently take the time to comb it. I've been to a couple of shops in the past, and a couple of women actually just took the comb, not even knowing if my hair was tangled, and they started up here and just, you know, went down. And I had to tell them, I'm like, please don't comb my hair like that. I'm like, please start at the ends and work your way up to the root. So even if you are at a shop don't be afraid to speak up and say something, because ultimately you are paying for that person's service. So you should be satisfied. And at the same time, it's also your hair, okay? I always wash my hair when I'm in the shower. Just for me, it's a lot easier to get it done while I'm in the shower. So whenever I use shampoo, I try to use something that's paraben free, something that's sulfate free, and something that is alcohol free. So there are a couple of different shampoos that I like that work well with natural hair, but right now the number one shampoo that I absolutely love so far, that I've been using for a while now, is made by Camille Rose. This shampoo smells so good, and it leaves my hair feeling so soft when I'm done with the wash process. Like a young lady that I know, I saw how beautiful her hair was, and she's natural and her curls were just popping. And I asked her, I'm like, you know, what do you use on your hair? And she turned me on to Camille Rose, and I had spent so much money on other products that didn't work as I would have imagined, like for my hair. But ever since I've been using like Camille Rose, I've had like no complaints at all. So their products are a little bit more expensive than other products in the store, but at the same time, I kind of look at it like you get what you pay for. And it's like when I'm done with washing my hair, it's just so soft and it's not as tangled. It doesn't feel dry. So a little bit goes a long way. So a bottle like this may cost me at my local beauty store about $12 or $13, but it can definitely last me at least a couple of months. So watch out with inflated prices, because sometimes on other websites I've seen this for like $19 or $20, but you can definitely get this cheaper, I guess, depending on where you live, or maybe at your local beauty supply store. When I wash my hair, I'm typically washing my hair like once a week. Sometimes I only wash my hair like once every 2 weeks. It just depends on the kind of style that I have. Like in this case, it's week 3 with my curls. I have not washed my hair in 3 weeks, but because I moisturize my scalp, I don't have like dandruff all throughout my hair. If I do see a spot where I have dandruff, I will take like a dark washcloth. I'll wet it just slightly to where it's damp, and I'll just use that to actually clean my scalp. I'll just rub it, and that will make sure that I don't have like any flakes or anything like that. But typically, because I am applying some kind of oil or grease or something to my hair every couple of days, I don't have to worry about dandruff. Now, if I try to go like day 4 and day 5 with it, it's gonna look like someone like poured snow on my hair. Conditioner. Whenever I wash my hair, I 100% of the time use some kind of a conditioner. So far, the best conditioner that I like that works well with my hair is again by Camille Rose. And there are a couple of different kinds of conditioners that you can choose from with this brand, but this one smells like so good, so good. I really like the way that it smells. So I'll apply it throughout my hair, and I'll leave it in for about 15 or 20 minutes. Whenever I use any kind of a conditioner on my hair, I'm addicted to these caps right here. They look like aluminum foil. I'm not sure if it's actually made out of aluminum foil, but it's like a deep conditioner cap. So I know Walmart has these for like, I think it's like under $2. Places like Sally's Beauty, just in my area, they have these caps or whatever. I'm pretty sure Amazon probably sells this as well, but I ditched the plastic caps a long time ago. I really like these. These are really great. So once a month, I do try to use this kind of conditioner, like the old school conditioner where you get a cup of hot water. For me, I place it in the microwave and I let the water heat up for a couple of minutes. Actually, now that I think about it, it may be about a minute, but I'll take it out and then I'll just sit the tube in there and I will go ahead and apply this to my hair. Now, because it does heat up very quickly, I always put like a little squirt like on my wrist just to make sure that it's not too hot because I don't want to burn myself. So I love this, and this is like so old school and it leaves your hair just like feeling like so good. So when I use this, I don't use any other kind of a washout conditioner, but because my hair is so thick, I do have to use 2 packs of this, but I absolutely love giving myself a hot oil treatment using these. So these are great as well. So I try to use them maybe like once a month or at least every 2 months, if not more often. So before I blow dry my hair, I always use some kind of a moisturizer on my hair. So this is what I use as my leave-in conditioner. It's by Camille Rose and it smells like so good. One day, the first time my son smelled it, he thought I was baking cupcakes, but it was actually this. That's how good it smells. So I just love how the products leave your hair smelling like really, really good. So I'll use this before I blow dry my hair, and I will also use a serum, which is a heat protector. And I normally buy like the Paul Mitchell's brand. It's more expensive, but I found this at a store where it's supposed to be like the generic brand with all of the same ingredients as the brand name one that I typically buy. And so far, I like the way it works. I don't have any complaints. And it was a lot less expensive than the Paul Mitchell brand that I typically buy. But if I'm going to just blow dry my hair alone, then I don't use a serum. But if I am going to blow dry and flat iron my hair, I definitely use a serum. And the reason why I use a serum is because when you are applying heat to your hair, this stuff keeps your hair cool and your hair doesn't feel hot to the touch. So that's the reason why I use the serum as a heat protector, especially when I'm applying so much heat to my hair. So let's talk about my blow drying process. So I just use a blow dryer like this, nothing special. I've had it for probably about 5 or 6 years. I think I paid like $20 for it, and it did not come with a comb. So I bought a universal comb to use with it. So I always blow dry my hair using a comb. That's why I don't detangle my hair in the shower a lot of times, because I'm going to turn around and comb it with this. So whenever I blow dry my hair, I do part my hair into sections using my fingers, and I will also start at the bottom of like the ends, and then I'll just work my way up as I'm blow drying my hair to the roots. I always start from the bottom and then I go up to the top. The same concept that I use with combing my hair as well. This blow dryer has like 3 different heat settings: low, medium, and high. So for me, I always put it on medium heat. Low heat, it'll take forever for my hair to dry. High heat, I just feel like it's way too much heat. So that's the reason why I always use it on a medium heat setting. Now I do use like the fan speed on a high, so that way it blows out a lot more air. But at the same time, I make sure that I don't blow dry my hair on high because I don't want the steam coming from my hair, just applying all that extra heat. Because when I blow dry my hair, I'm not really concerned with getting my hair straight. My number one concern is just making sure that my hair is dry. Yeah, whenever I flat iron my hair, I make sure that I do a great job the first time, because once I do it that first time and I'm done, I'm not going to reapply heat throughout the week to make sure that it's straight. So I make sure that I get it done the right time, the first time, because the more heat that you are applying to your hair, it's like the greater your chances increase for your hair being damaged. So if I do use heat on my hair, the most that I will use heat on my hair is maybe like twice a month, if that, which is like once every 2 weeks. So moisturizers. Sometimes I use grease, sometimes I use oil. I really don't have a routine when it comes to moisturizing my hair. I just make sure that I use something on it. Sometimes I go old school and I use this. I really love how this makes my hair feel, but on the flip side, because of the color, a lot of times when you use this for a week or two at a time, the product tends to build up in your hair and then your hair starts looking like this color. So I use this, but I use it sparingly. So I also like using oil like this. This is really good. It gives you a really pretty shine, and also it leaves my hair feeling good. So I do like stuff like this. Parted areas of my hair and on the strands of my hair, depending on like what kind of style I'm wearing, I do like using coconut oil. I also like almond oil on my hair. So I make sure that I moisturize my hair at least like once every 2 or 3 days, but I never go more than like 4 or 5 days without putting anything on my hair, because if your hair becomes dry and brittle, then it's going to break. So I just make sure that I keep my hair like moisturized, my scalp definitely moisturized. Sometimes I do detangle my hair while I'm in the shower. I have like this travel size brush that I actually love. This is like the travel size one, but a larger brush with the handle came with it, but I dropped it in the shower and I broke it. So I have to get like another one. But the bristles, they're very soft and they just glide through my curls when I have like the shampoo in. So sometimes I do brush my hair while I'm in the shower while it's wet, and sometimes I don't. It just depends on how I feel. But I would have to say majority of the time I don't brush it while I'm in the shower, but if I do, I use a brush like this. I love this brand. It's really good. You can see that or not, but I'll leave the link for this. I'll leave the link for this in the description. If I do decide to detangle my hair while I'm in the shower, I'll always use like some little clips like this to section my hair off into different sections. Now these can get caught in your hair, so make sure that when you use these, make sure you don't just rip it out. Make sure that you gently remove it from your hair so that way you're not snapping your hair in the process. But if I'm going to blow dry my hair, I definitely use clips like this, or like the metal clips like this. I love these. These work great too. And these don't get as tangled in your hair as these do, but I'm able to hold more hair with these versus these, but these are both great when you need to like section your hair. For a brush, I always use something with like soft bristles. I don't use any hard brushes on my hair. Like if I want to wear a style that has gel and I slick my hair down, I don't use any brush that's hard. I always make sure that I get something that's super soft because I don't want it to actually break my hair. So whenever I use anything like flexi rods or rollers, I make sure that I do not roll them tight. I want to make sure that it's snug, but I never roll it tight to the point where it hurts. And if I use some old school rollers like this, I always use like the end paper just to protect your hair, because with these old school rollers, they have like these little ridges on them and it can definitely easily break your hair. So I always make sure that I use like some kind of end wraps to protect your hair, to make sure that not only are you getting the pretty curls, but you're also protecting your hair as well. So let's talk about protective styles. I'll tell you the different styles that I wear. I love individual box braids. I think they're beautiful. I think that they're great. And I think that they are like wonderful protective styles, just as long as when you have them installed, you don't get them installed to the point of where it's painful. The braids should not hurt. Once you get it done, you should be able to move your braids. I remember going to an actual shop to get some braids done, and they were beautiful at the end, but the process of having them installed, it was like so painful. I remember slouching in the seat asking the lady, like, can you not braid my hair so hard? And she was telling me that she had to braid it that tight in order for it to look good. So I think I was maybe like 15 or 16 at that point. So at that point, I was determined to learn how to braid my own hair. And that's how I learned how to braid my own hair, and I perfected braiding it that way. So when you see my braids, you would definitely think that I went to some kind of a salon to get it done. But when I do my braids, when I'm done, they don't hurt. They're not painful. I don't have any bumps around my hairline. I don't have to take like some kind of like medicine for like a headache. I just think that it's so ridiculous when you get braids done and the person feels that they have to do them so tight in order for them to look nice and neat, because you don't have to pull someone's hair that tight in order for it to look pretty and neat and be attached securely. And if you're interested in knowing how to learn how to braid your hair, I do have a very detailed tutorial that shows you how to install box braids. The braids that I install, they're very neat. They don't have any knots in it, and they look really great. So I'll make sure that I include the link to that video at the end of this video. So let's talk sew-ins. So whenever I do a sew-in, I never use glue. I've never used hair glue on my hair before. When I think about glue, I think about like arts and crafts, or like I broke something like some kind of decor, home decor, and I want to see if I can seamlessly put it back together with like some kind of glue, like crazy glue or super glue or something. So I've never used like hair glue on my hair before. I think the best way is just like needle and thread. I think that's the healthiest way that you can install a sew-in. And I also have a beautiful video that shows you how I do my sew-ins that I will also include at the end of this video as well. So if I'm going to wear something like a sew-in or crochet braids, or if I'm going to wear a wig, I always make sure that I cornrow my hair so that way it will be easy for me to just put some oil in there, grease, or whatever it is that I'm using. So I make sure that whatever kind of protective styles I'm wearing, I make sure that I have access to my entire scalp, so that way I can make sure that my hair is moisturized. That's definitely like so important when you're wearing a protective style. You want to make sure that you have access to your scalp. So some styles that I try to avoid are like quick weaves. I think a lot of them are very pretty, but just with the installation process, I can't see how someone is able to keep it in long term without damaging your hair. I've talked to a couple of young ladies in the past when I've seen them with quick weaves, and I will ask them like, how do you like moisturize your hair? And they would tell me like their stylist actually put like a lot of oil on, like put like a lot of it on thick kind of before they installed it. And then they would go ahead and apply like the quick weave or whatever. So I'm like, well, how long do you keep something in your hair like that for? And you know, I was told that sometimes some people may keep it like a month or longer. So I'm like, do you literally go like an entire month without, you know, putting any oil or anything on your scalp? And, you know, their response to me was like, yes. For me, I don't think that that would ever work because I can just see my hair being so damaged, like in the process. So I make sure that whatever protective style I have to be able to have access to also take care of my hair in the process. If I wear a wig, I always make sure that I have my hair cornrowed. Like very rarely will I stick my hair in a ponytail and then wear a wig for like a week or two at a time. And then I will also use something like this around my hairline just to protect my edges. So I always make sure that my hair is braided. For me, when my hair is braided, whether it's box braids or cornrows, my hair grows so much. So I do wear a lot of braids. Whenever I wear a style, like if I install box braids, I keep those in my hair at least for like a month. If I am wearing a sew-in, I keep that in my hair for at least like a month. Whatever style that I'm typically wearing, I will definitely keep it in for a couple of weeks because I don't want to constantly like comb my hair or just play around with my hair for so much. So like for instance, with these curls that I have, this is actually 3 weeks of me having the curls. Since I've had them, I have not combed my hair like one time. I just use my fingers when I use the flexi rods at night. But other than that, I'm not combing and brushing my hair and stuff like that. And just for me, it works. So since I've done this, I have not once like reapplied any heat at all to my hair. It's just from me like using the flexi rods at night. And that's the importance too of using a scarf, because it does help preserve your style, your hairstyle, versus when you don't use anything on your hair, it's gonna kind of be like it's gonna be really frizzy the next day. It's just not going to hold as long. Now, some shops I actually stay away from when they use a lot of heat. Like, I went a couple of times to a particular shop and I got my hair done. When my hair was done, it was beautiful at the end. But when I thought about how much heat was used in the process, I just knew that long term it wouldn't be good for my hair. So, like, for instance, with a couple of shops that I've gone to, what they would do is they would put conditioner in your hair and give you like a deep conditioner where you sit under the hood dryer for about 15 to 20 minutes. So that's heat right there, right? So then after you get it washed out, this particular salon would actually roller set my hair. And at that point, once they were roller setted, I would sit under the hood dryer again for about an hour. So when they would take out like the rollers, it was like really pretty. It looked really good. Well, after they took out the rollers, they would actually take like a blow dryer on high heat, and then they would blow dry out all of the beautiful curls that were like created from like the rollers with me sitting under the dryer. So all of the curls were just like gone from the blow dryer. And then the salon, the stylist would turn around and then use like a curling iron to put the curls back in there. So when I processed it after leaving, you know, I just had like pretty much this straight wrap with no curls. So it kind of made me think like, why go through all of that with putting that much heat on your hair? Like, I understand that you want your hair to have body and that you want it to have volume, but at the same time, it's all about the products that you use. You don't have to use that much heat in one day on someone's hair in order to get the look that ultimately the stylist was trying to achieve. So I am very selective about who I allow to do my hair, because you want to make sure that, you know, if you continue to go to that person long term, you are going to continue to have your hair to grow versus having your hair to break or become damaged. If I've gotten someone to do my hair and if it's really tight and painful, for me personally, I will take it out. I had someone to recommend a young lady to do my hair that was in like the next state over. So I actually drove like almost 2 hours each way to have this young lady to do my hair. And I forgot how much I paid her, but I know it was like over $100, but I don't think it was like over $200. And she gave me a full sew-in. Well, when she was done, it was absolutely beautiful, but she had braided my hair so tight. It hurt. It was like so painful. So when I got home, I took it out. I didn't keep it in. You know, I just could not go along with, oh, you know, even though it hurts, it'll feel better in a couple of days. And I just didn't want to take like some Tylenol or some, you know, headache medication just to help with the pain. When I saw that it was that tight and that it would not loosen up in like over an hour or two, even though I had driven like 4 hours to get my hair done, when I got home, it came out. And it's like I said, it looked beautiful, but at the same time, if you're constantly getting your hair done like that week after week after week, it's just like, I can't see how it can be good like for your hair. So if something is too tight, I'm taking it out. If it hurts, I'm taking it out, because you can get so many beautiful styles, same result, that are pain-free. I am very selective about what products I use in my hair. I don't like to use a lot of products that have like a ton of chemicals, I typically look at like the active ingredients before I use something to determine if I think it will be good for my hair. Because not only am I thinking about my hair, I'm also thinking about my body as well. Because with a lot of these chemicals, it doesn't just stay on your head. Some of the stuff can actually absorb into your bloodstream and affect like your body. So I am very selective about what I use. Some products, when they give you like these promises, I don't typically use products like that. Some products will say, you know, you'll have thick hair. I don't know about that, because either you genetically have thick hair or either you don't. Now, there are products that you can use that will give the illusion that your hair is thicker because of the body and volume that it gives, but I don't know how someone who's always had thin hair can like actually just go like from 0 to 100 with having thick hair. So that's why I did not mention in my video about, you know, getting thick hair. My hair is naturally thick. Most people in my family have like thick hair, so I think that that's something that runs in my family. Like even when I was younger, when I used to get relaxers, my hair was so thick that even when I got a relaxer, my hair was straight, but it was still thick. It was never like bone straight to where it was like thin. My hair was still thick because I've always had like a lot of hair. My hair is coarse and it's definitely very thick. Okay, so I want to talk about the use of heat. Now, several months ago, I would apply heat to my hair at least like once or twice a month, or sometimes like once every couple of months, depending on the kind of style that I'm wearing. I noticed that when I was using heat on a regular basis, and when I say on a regular basis, that's just what I just described for my situation. When I say a regular basis, I don't mean like daily or weekly, because I never ever have applied heat to my hair that often. So when I use it like once or twice a month, or like I said, like once every couple of months, I noticed that when I would wash my hair, I would have some beautiful curls on one side, and then the other side would look kind of curly, but then stringy and then curly. There was like no true curl pattern. So I did actually go about 6 months without using any heat at all. When I stopped using heat and just wore like twist outs or braids or whatever like that, I noticed that my curls were like popping. They were like so freaking pretty. You know, it's like from the root to like the tip. So I do believe that when you use heat on your hair, it does impact your natural curl pattern. So with that being said, just be mindful about how much heat you apply. And I guess it depends on what's important to you. Do you want to take the quicker route of having your hair to go ahead and be dry? Or do you want to take the other route of doing whatever you have to do to go through a no heat process? But my ultimate goal is to try to maybe go a year or two without having any heat on my hair at all, because just with going several months of no heat use and just seeing how the texture, well, I wouldn't say the texture, but the pattern of my hair change as far as my curls, it like really had me motivated. Like, I think I want to ditch heat for life. But then, you know, I applied it to my hair. So just a thought. So those are the tips and the tricks that I have for you all with maintaining, you know, healthy hair. As you can see, my hair is curled, but it's not straight because it's curled, but you can see, we doing a little something, okay? So if you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this video, if you like it. Also feel free to share it as well. And don't forget to turn your notification on because I'm going to be dropping some content for 2021, okay? A lot of great content coming your way for this year. And I know that I've been, missing from posting videos, but I'm the kind of person that I definitely believe in having multiple hustles. I feel that it's important to have multiple streams of income. So it's like when you don't see me on YouTube, just know that I'm still out there doing my thing, okay? But I'll be back to bring you guys some content, some more hot content. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.